because the climate necessary is so specific to be able to make this wine. So there's a lot of wines out there that are called late harvest, that are just, they're kept on the vine a long time, so the grapes get very, very ripe. You get a lot of sweetness, and then when they're fermented, and the fermentation is cut off at a certain point, a lot of sugar is still left behind, so it's sweet, and it has some more cooked fruit kind of flavors that come from it staying on the vine for so long. The difference with ice wine and why it gets taken to the next level is that the grapes stay on the vine much, much longer. So here in Canada, in the Niagara region, we would harvest a regular grape between September and October. But to make ice wine, the grapes stay on the vines till December, usually January, sometimes even February. And so what happens during that time is the grapes freeze and thaw and freeze and thaw, and a whole bunch of, natural or divine providence sort of things happen to those grapes. And when they're harvested, it has to be at -9 degrees Celsius. So that's what is that? Like 37 or something like that? Yeah?
It's less.
Yeah, 35? I don't know.
I think it's closer to 30.
30 is below. Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, so I think it's close to like 26, 27. It's high 20s.
I don't know what it is. Sorry guys.
Canadians.
Celsius. I apologize. Anyway, so it has to be harvested at that temperature. So when the grapes come off the vines, they're literally like ice balls. They're hard, totally frozen solid. And then not only do they get harvested at that temperature, but they have to be pressed at that temperature. So they go into these big hydraulic presses, and it's just brute force coming down to press them. And what happens is, I don't know if you can imagine what happens if you press something that is mostly ice. So all the ice remains frozen in the press. So usually a grape would have a significant percentage of water as part of its natural makeup. That water all stays behind, and what comes out of the press is like a pure nectar of the grape. It's like the essence of the grape. So what that means is that there's a lot more sugar. It's a lot higher in sugar, so it's very, very sweet juice, like twice as sweet as normal wine grapes. And also, it just has this tremendously concentrated flavor. So when you smell or taste ice wine for a first time, you'll notice right away, just from smelling it, it'll like explode. The flavors are so much stronger and so much concentrated because you're really making wine out of the essence of the grape. And that's what makes ice wine so much more unique than just a late harvest wine. And that's why it can only happen in certain areas where you're able to get to that low temperature to be able to make it. So please come and